From the Cronkite Studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
There will now be an open seat in Congress for the next election. Congressman Matt Salmon has announced he will not seek re-election in November.
I don't want to shoot the burros. Nobody does.
The Arizona burro population continues to overwhelm the state. Officials met in Washington this week to propose a solution.
And we take a look at diversity in the coaching staffs at our 3 universities. How Arizona State's recent hire plays a role.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Lucas Robbins.
And I'm Sydney Schofield. Thanks for joining us. Arizona District 5 will be looking for a new representative in November. Longtime politician Matt Salmon announced this morning that he would retire at the end of his current term. And he talked exclusively to Cronkite News just a few hours ago.
I believe that a person has a responsibility to their family, a father. And so I feel like I need to be back with my wife, my children, my grandchildren, and let somebody else come and do this job and serve.
Cronkite News reporter Ben Marjat caught up with Salmon's wife Nancy in an exclusive interview today. Ben?
This morning, Nancy Salmon told Cronkite News in that exclusive interview that her husband's decision to step down was entirely based on family reasons and that it wasn't an easy choice at all.
It's a very difficult decision to make. It's been a long few months for us trying to decide what is best.
Those long few months ended this morning when Representative Salmon made public the news that he would step down at the end of his term. His wife, Nancy Salmon, said she felt bittersweet this morning.
Actually, I was feeling a little bit sad, but yet happy at the same time because we've had a great desire to live in the same place and be together.
Just after he announced his retirement, current Arizona Senate President Andy Biggs announced his campaign for the seat with Salmon as his campaign chairman. Biggs said in a statement, quote, "I never envisioned running for Congress, but Matt's decision to return home leaves a void that must be filled by the kind of strong conservative voice that the people of Arizona's 5th District have come to expect and that they deserve." Former State Senator Kelly Ward, who's challenging Senator John McCain for his Senate seat, said she was in full support of Biggs' run for the position.
I have not met anybody that I have been able to build a more trusting relationship in the legislative process being in the Arizona State Senate than Senator Biggs.
Biggs is the only person thus far who has declared a candidacy.
I'm grateful.
Biggs also said in that statement that his campaign would focus on protecting limited government and working to enforce our nation's borders. In Phoenix, Ben Marjat, Cronkite News.
Arizona Representative Trent Franks may not be able to decide if he wants Ted Cruz or Marco Rubio in the White House.
But he does know he doesn't want Donald Trump. Frank says that the 2 candidates should join forces on a joint ticket to not only beat Trump, but the Democrats as well. He says that Rubio and Cruz will either have to come together or lose the election separately. While Franks appreciates Trump's criticism of President Obama, he does not like his inconsistent stances on various issues.
Franks thinks Obama and Rubio teaming up is the best scenario for both candidates.
Franks will have another chance to see if anyone can stand up against Trump at the debate tonight in Houston. With Jeb Bush out of the race, the 5 remaining Republican presidential candidates will meet for the last time before Super Tuesday. The debate will take place tonight at 6:30 Arizona time. Slavery is an issue that many think has faded in history.
But for nations across the world, even here in Phoenix, the reality is staggering. Cronkite News reporter Lauren Clark in our Washington bureau talked to an Arizona advocate on the issue.
Well, imagine this heartbreaking scene, a homeless teenager on the streets when someone comes by offering them food, comfort, and shelter, only for them to be used in human trafficking. It's an unfortunate occurrence happening throughout the globe, even in Phoenix, and an advocate named Cindy McCain wants to change it.
It seems strange to even use the term modern-day slavery in our country, but it went from something that I knew next to nothing about to the way that I was forced to live my life for the next 7 years.
Leah was one of 2.4 million people who are victims of human trafficking worldwide. Her testimony and others were heard at a Senate committee hearing. Arizona's Cindy McCain spoke on how the U.S. can be an international leader on this issue.
You know, we talk about it, we tend to talk about the United States separately from the world. It really isn't separate from the world. especially when you're talking about labor trafficking coming across the southern border or the northern border as well.
And victims aren't just from foreign countries. Many come from our own neighborhoods.
Violations occur all over the world, and we're no different, I'm sorry to say.
In fact, the Department of Justice has identified Phoenix as a top city for the trade. Those enslaved are often held against their will, forced into labor or sex. People like Evelyn Shumbo. She was brought into America at the age of 10 under the guise of receiving an education. Instead, she worked as a virtual slave.
I was not allowed to sleep on the bed. I had to sleep on the floor.
Evelyn and Leah got out, but for those still enslaved around the globe, there's plenty of work to be done. It's the meaning behind symbols at the hearing that one day this practice needs to be permanently marked out from the world.
To ensure that my past does not define my future.
And Cindy's work has not gone unnoticed. Just today, she received a special award at the Library of Congress. Live in Washington, Lauren Clark, Cronkite News.
A Phoenix teenager is fighting for the right to try experimental life-saving drugs. And he took that fight to the nation's capital today. Cronkite News reporter Wafa Shahid takes us inside the Senate hearing.
When Brophy Preparatory freshman Diego Morris testified about connecting patients to potential life-saving treatments today, it was more than just a hearing.
When I was 11, my family and I had to leave the country and move to London to get a potentially life-saving treatment that wasn't available in the U.S.
That treatment saved Diego's life, but some witnesses are still fighting for their lives. Laura McClynn's testimony about her terminally ill son also hit home for many of those on the Senate committee.
We were here for the speak.
Sure.
Speak.
Because my son has a fatal disease, and so he's in a fight with the clock for his life. And so there is a drug that exists that can slow the progression of the disease that my son has. So we need that drug sooner than later.
The testimony all had a common message: increase access and expedite the process for patients to receive drugs that aren't approved in the U.S.
Have the right to die when we're terminally ill? Fantastic. But what about those who want to fight?
I want to see the process get expedited and give families and patients the opportunity to save their own lives.
Senators were in agreement that this is a bipartisan issue and one that needs more support.
Just to give hope to patients and their families where they have no hope.
This hearing is adjourned.
In Washington, Wafa Shahid, Cronkite News.
Some northern Arizona officials are taking another fight to Washington, this time over Mojave County's out-of-control burro population. Cronkite News reporter Katie Beery found out how federal law has protected these animals maybe a little too well.
They're cute, slow-moving, and apparently harmless. But as the wild burro population has exploded, they have taken a toll on resources and threatened Arizona motorists.
Nobody has died yet, but they're going to.
That's exactly what brought local county officials to Washington this week. They met with federal officials and Senator John McCain to talk solutions to the problem.
If we're talking about it, then we know about it, and then it's on our hands.
Right now, the burro population sits at more than 4,400. That's 3 times more than our environment can sustain. Killing the burros isn't an option because it's illegal. But in a moment of frustration, one official suggested such a step.
I don't want to shoot the burros. Nobody does. But it takes that sort of rhetoric to get attention sometimes from the outlying areas.
Moss said he was glad to start a conversation, but that long-term, there needs to be a better solution.
It's basically the Dutch boy putting his finger in the dam and hoping he can stop it from bursting. But it's a start. It's a Band-Aid, but it's a start.
In Washington, Katie Beery, Cronkite News.
Using state tax dollars to attend private schools is something that is currently limited to a small percent of students.
Coming up on Cronkite News, why some are not happy to see this program expanded to every student statewide.
And equal opportunity in education. Is it time to revamp the laws? Why some lawmakers want to strip school funds designed to get rid of segregation in schools.
The true measure of all our actions is how long the good in them lasts. is who I am, where I'm from.
If you're on the right side of history, you can accomplish anything.
It's a connection between your present and your past.
Come this way. This is good. This is very good.
We are attempting to fulfill the promise of America.
The stories about who we are shape us.
This chance to go through a time machine.
Good heavenly days.
We should know our history.
It informs, but it doesn't constrict you.
It's a framework to carry out human activity.
The sky is the limit.
It started a long time ago.
For only the third time in the award's 74-year history, a Phoenix-based news operation wins the prestigious Alfred I. DuPont Columbia Award for Excellence in Broadcast Journalism. And this year, that news operation is Cronkite News, the news division of Arizona PBS, honored for its work on the groundbreaking documentary, Hooked, Tracking Heroin's Hold on Arizona. Cronkite News at Arizona PBS, award-winning journalism you can count on from the station you trust.
A bill that would expand a school scholarship program to virtually all public school students is making its way through the legislature, but not everyone supports this bill. Cronkite News reporter Amanda Kukala was at the Capitol today for a news conference about House Bill 2482.
ESA, otherwise known as the Empowerment Scholarship Account, is a program that allows parents to use state tax dollars for private school tuition. A program that was once only available to about 2,200 students with a disability or special needs. But now the House Bill 2482 aims to expand the program to all public school students. Children's Action Alliance gathered today in front of Arizona State Senate Law to protest the bill. Dana Wolf-Neymark, president and CEO of Children's Action Alliance, is concerned that public schools will lose too much state funding.
It's taking money out that is desperately needed for classrooms, for technology, for textbooks, to hire and retain quality teachers. And we know that voters all over the state and business leaders are calling loud and strong for more investment in public schools. These policies actually create less investment. It's the wrong direction.
So far, the Senate has passed their version of the bill. Yesterday, the House delayed their debate. If passed and signed into law, the program would cover kindergarten through high school by 2019. Live in the newsroom, Amanda Kukala, Cronkite News.
New bills moving through the House and Senate will cut more than $200 million from some Arizona school districts. The bill would phase out desegregation and Office for Civil Rights funding that has been in place for more than 30 years.
In the 1970s and 80s, many complaints were filed in Arizona school districts, complaints of segregation and racial inequality. Through the courts, 19 school districts were given more than $200 million in what's being called desegregation or Office for Civil Rights funding.
The legislature back then allowed those school districts that had received complaints to go out to their local taxpayers and charge them an extra tax. It never went to a vote of the public.
House Bill 2401 aims to phase out this funding. An identical bill is moving through the Senate. SB 1125 is sponsored by Senator Debbie Lesko, who says segregation in Arizona schools is not still an issue.
There's no longer any problems, yet these people are still being taxed for a decades-old complaint.
With many students that aren't native English speakers, districts like Phoenix Union High School District say they have to provide an equal and typically more expensive education to those students.
To say that there's no longer racial issues and equity issues, and that was just 20 years ago, is absolutely false. There will always be issues of equity and excellence.
Senator Lesko is also adamant that this won't have a big impact on local school districts.
I just don't buy the notion that we're going to devastate any schools.
But some schools see things differently.
If this bill is passed, that's $55 million that will be phased out of Phoenix, $55 million phased out of Phoenix Union. It collapses our system.
Without the approval of taxpayers, Senator Lesko says this funding needs to go.
Why should another district that's neighboring to them get extra money? It's not competitive. It's not fair.
Dr. Guestin doesn't think this solves a fairness problem between districts.
A lot of people in the general public think, well, if we eliminate DSEG, it gets put back into the system and redistributed. If you get rid of DSEG funds, it goes away. It leaves education.
These bills passed in their committees but are now up for a vote in the full House and full Senate. Phasing this money out will cut funding from around a quarter of Arizona's kids, but the Arizona Tax Research Association says if you live in districts like Phoenix Union and Phoenix Elementary, your overall property taxes could be lowered by around 17% after the phase-out period.
Arizona McDonald's has brewed up a new program to reduce their waste by 30 pounds each day and help local schools. Elena Mendoza tells us more about their newest recycling initiative.
Gives it hyperness caffeine so it can bounce up and grow.
Kids and coffee normally don't go hand in hand, but at Madison-Simus Elementary School, it's a key part of the curriculum.
I like coming out to the garden because I like helping the plants, seeing how they sprout.
DIGS, which stands for Discoveries Growing Gardens at Simus, has been a hands-on science-based gardening program at the school for 17 years. With the help of McDonald's, the school doesn't have to pay for or struggle to find coffee grounds for their gardens any longer.
The McCafe Gardens Grow program is amazing for us because we've in the past had to hunt down where we're going to get our coffee grounds from.
Madison-Simus is one of 130 schools across the state that has partnered with McDonald's to recycle their used coffee grounds. Arizona schools participating in the McCafe School Gardens Grow program expect to divert thousands of pounds of waste from going into the waste stream. Nationally, McDonald's has a Good Neighbor, Good Grounds program. Arizona restaurants are the first to partner with the Department of Education.
The average McDonald's produces 30 pounds of coffee grounds every day, 11,000 pounds of coffee grounds a year. And how can we keep that out of the landfills? Well, we can give it to the schools.
It's a win-win situation. It's beneficial to the environment and it makes learning fun for the students.
And just learning about how we plant.
In Phoenix, Elena Mendoza, Cronkite News.
McDonald's plans to begin a similar program later this year so customers can get used to the grounds for their gardens too.
He's the man behind Arizona State University athletics, and he's becoming known outside the Valley of the Sun.
Coming up on Cronkite News, what brings ASU Athletic Director Ray Anderson into the mix of stars, including Michael Jordan and LeBron James?
And Anderson is not the only minority figure in Arizona sports, but he is one of the few. A look into the lack of diversity across big-time college athletics.
We are here tonight to explore tough issues.
You've got to have people around you who aren't just laying rose petals in front of your way.
And I kid you not, this is true.
Trust is everything.
This has been so much fun.
It's about reaching people.
There are more players on the world stage. The issues are more complex.
We ask the questions that take us closer to the truth.
What happened and what might happen.
Because that's what we do.
Would you like doing something like I do? I couldn't do this. I'm not qualified.
I was thinking exactly the same thing.
Ray Anderson, the athletic director of Arizona State, was named in Forbes magazine's list of most influential minorities in sports. Anderson was number 21 on the list, joining the likes of athletes and sports business leaders. Since taking over in Tempe, he has revamped many of the school's programs and brought in Olympic-level coaches, including Bob Bowman, swim coach of gold medalist Michael Phelps.
According to a 2014 study by the Institute for Diversity and Ethics in Sports, 18% of NCAA Division I athletes are African American. But in coaching ranks, the numbers are even lower. Just 8% of men's coaches and only 7% of women's coaches are black. Cronkite News reporter Zuriel Loving took a look at the athletic departments of Arizona's 3 public universities to see how they compare.
Diversity is a work in progress at the athletic departments of Arizona's 3 state universities: Arizona State, University of Arizona, and Northern Arizona. Across the 49 varsity teams at the 3 schools, there are just 3 African American head coaches: Arizona's women's basketball head coach, Nia Butts, Arizona track and field head coach, Fred Harvey, and Arizona State's newest hire, Stevie Mussey. Arizona State Vice President for University Athletics, Ray Anderson,
who himself is just one of 12 African-American athletic directors at the Division I level, hired Mussey last month to lead the women's volleyball program. Anderson has said that he makes it a priority to include diverse candidates in all of his coaching searches since arriving at ASU in January 2014.
Always looking to make sure when you're interviewing for a position that you have what we call diverse slates, which means a variety of folks that you want to interview and talk to and give an opportunity to present their case, and that means inclusion candidates, women, people of color.
When Anderson hired Mussey, she became one of 2 women of color to lead a collegiate volleyball program at the Division I level in a Power 5 conference.
It's not just white males that are coaching volleyball, it's women, men of color, women of color. And so it's just kind of a nice thing for everyone to see, and I think it'll continue to trend upward.
Volleyball has a low number of African Americans playing the sport as well. According to NCAA diversity research, just 10% of the women playing Division I collegiate volleyball are Black. But University of Arizona assistant sand volleyball coach Taiba Hanif Park hopes that her presence will allow her to be a role model for girls that may be interested in the sport.
To be a part of that heritage in terms of sports, not as many Black role models in the sport, but coming from like a Rita Crockett or Flo Hyman in the indoor team, and being able to be here in a position where I can kind of excel and push the sport forward means a lot to me.
For NAU associate track and field coach Kenny McDaniel, the role is flipped. Of his 20 sprinters, 14 are Black. He strives to provide an environment that is welcoming for all his athletes.
When you create an environment where any student athlete feel comfortable, they feel safe, they're willing to talk to you about things they might not talk with someone about that might not be I don't want to say skin color, but someone that they feel comfortable with.
The next frontier for African Americans, FBS commissioner. There has never been a person of color to lead an FBS conference. In Tempe, Zuriel Loving, Cronkite News.
The love of movie making is bringing people together from universities across the state.
Coming up on Cronkite News, how one Valley man used Phoenix Startup Week for a different kind of entrepreneurial venture.
In the middle of rather a drama.
I've been thinking about the circumstances of the crime and the nature of love.
It's romantic, is it? Isn't it?
Seems to me as if the answer is right in front of you.
I'm a high-functioning sociopath. You are being irrational.
Need to go.
Will you do a blood test?
No.
You want to hit me now?
Do you think that makes me a wicked woman, sister?
Will the prisoner rise? There is only one thing I would like.
Pain.
Sex?
Heartbreak.
Or love? Oh, yummy. Stop it! Papa? Is everything all right in there?
This is a box that showed you a world beyond your own. It was just a box, but the world has changed, and so have we. And now the box can be almost any size or shape. And you decide what you want to explore. Anytime, any place. Break out of the box with PBS.
Phoenix Startup Week is coming to a close, but not without an event that's the first of its kind. Cronkite News reporter Gilbert Cordova spoke with filmmakers about an all-Arizona project. Gilbert?
Filming a movie is not easy, especially when the funding does not come the normal way. But a filmmaker here in Arizona did not take no for an answer.
The filmmaker who succeeds, if you're lucky enough to succeed in making a film, is one that doesn't give up.
Producer and director Marcus De Leon held a presentation for his new feature film project that highlights the beautiful landscape Arizona has to offer, but also tells a meaningful story.
The movie is at its core about belonging, and all 3 characters, a brother and 2 sisters, each of them has a belongingness, a gap in the family they need to close.
As De Leon mentioned in his presentation, it wasn't always easy. He received numerous no's until fate would have it, the perfect investors came.
It was a matter of convincing people that this was an entrepreneurial effort.
Robert Hungate, of Desert Angels, a Tucson, Arizona-based nonprofit organization of accredited investors, heard De Leon's pitch and found interest in his idea.
Entrepreneurial work always has things that go wrong as you go through it. So that if you're going to do entrepreneurship, you have to expect that things will happen. But you have to focus on the end result.
When asked what is the outcome De Leon wants from theatergoers,
To walk out of a theater and say, I want to go get my brother in Ohio and my sister in Washington State and take a road trip with them.
The film is still in post-production as we speak, but will premiere in fall 2016. In downtown Phoenix, I'm Gilbert Cordova, Cronkite News.
Cronkite News is proud to be the news division of Arizona PBS. Here's what's coming up on Arizona Horizon and the PBS NewsHour.
On the next Arizona Horizon, find out where and how to find edible plants around the state. And we'll take a look at a restoration project at the Heard Museum. That's on the next Arizona Horizon.
I'm Gwen Eiffel. On the next NewsHour, Judy Woodruff reports from South Carolina ahead of Saturday's Democratic primary. That's Thursday on the PBS NewsHour.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thanks for joining us.
For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.